There's a lot of power in knowing you can. Hi, I'm Sweeney. Many years ago, I took up running, and one of the things that I wanted to do very early on was do something that we call the Tely 10 here locally. And basically what it is, it's a 10-mile road race. Now, I had never run 10 miles in my entire life. The most I probably had run prior to doing the first Tely 10 was maybe about 6 miles. And so I trained, and I trained quite extensively in preparation for the race, several months in advance and leading up to it. But I didn't have any kind of formal training. It was kind of whatever came into my mind, and I'd set myself up, and I wasn't skilled at training myself to be a runner by any stretch of the imagination, as it turned out. One of the things, though, I was really concerned about, because I had not run 10 miles, I really questioned my ability to actually do it. And so 3 days before the race was on a Sunday morning. Thursday evening, I had my wife drop me off at the start line for the race, and I ran the entire route. This was like Thursday evening, so basically 2.5 days before the actual race. Now, in the running world, and I didn't really realize this at the time, that's a big no-no. You do not run that kind of distance that close to the actual day of the race. Now, I ran a very good time. I think I ran something like 72, 73 minutes, which I was quite proud of. But it was just me running the route and meeting my wife at the finish line when I got through the whole thing. So I got up the next morning, and I felt like somebody had beat my lower body with a stick. Everything from the waist down was just basically all sore. And I got up that was Friday morning. I got up Saturday morning, and it was the same thing. I went through the day stiff as a board, and I thought, oh my God, I've got it done now. I'm not going to be able to run the race on Sunday morning. So in my attempt to prove that I could do 10 miles, I thought I had basically run myself right out of the race. Now, as luck would have it, I got up Sunday morning, and I felt perfect. Everything had gone back to normal, thank goodness. And so I ran the race. And in those days, I think there was like 300 or 400, 500 competitors that were running. And I say competitors in a loose way, because I wasn't really trying to compete with some of the major runners that were involved in the race. But what was interesting, I got caught up in the psychology of the race. So I actually ran the race even faster than what I had run when I was running it by myself. I ran it in 67 minutes. But I had the benefit of knowing that I could run 10 miles. And that was the real power of knowledge. And I've come to realize over the years, there's so many different things now that I, for whatever reason, questioned that I couldn't do. And then when I did it, I all of a sudden had the power of knowing that I could. And the power of knowing that I could has made such a difference over the years. I have since run 10 of those 10-mile races. And one of the last ones that I did it with no training whatsoever. It was a spur-of-the-moment decision. My time reflected there was no training, but the fact was I went into that race knowing that I could run the full 10 miles because I had done it so many times before. That's the power of knowing that you can. Love to know what you think about this. If you like it, share it with your friends. Now go out and make your voice heard.